And yes, we are live. Yes, we are live. Why your child isn't listening? Why your child isn't listening? Discover the psychology behind resistance. Stop the cycle and raise cooperative children. Who is in class with me? Let me see you in the chat. Say hi, I'm in class. Say hi, I am in class. Who is here with me? I want to hear from you. Say hi, I'm in class. Hi, I'm in class. Of course, I am in class. I love to hear from you. Who is in class right now? Am I the only one in class? Ah. Say hi. I am in class. I am in class. Yes, the waiting is over. And now we are here. We are here in class. Who is as excited as I am? Because I am so excited to have you in class. Why your child isn't listening? Today, you are going to discover the psychology behind resistance. You are going to learn how to stop the shouting cycle, and you will learn how to raise cooperative children. All right, that is what is going to happen today. Of course, you know that this class is going to hold for 3 days. We're having one today, tomorrow, and of course, next tomorrow. So I want to welcome you all. Good evening, everyone. And I want to say something to you. You are not here because you're a bad parent. Of course not. Yes, Adaeze. Hi, I'm in class. Thank you. I love your vibe in the group. Thank you so much. So you are not here because you are a bad parent. Mm-mm. You are not a bad parent. You are here because you want to become a better one. You are here because you love your children enough to keep learning. Yes, Ajagbawa. Yes, thank you. I love you all from Worry. Oh, Worry, Worry, Worry. You're welcome. Thank you for joining me. I love you all. I love you all. Honestly, I do. When I see parents who are intentional, who want to grow, I am also ready, to give in all that I can. So you are not here because you're a bad parent. You are not here because, yes, you are welcome. Yeah, sorry, I can't pronounce your email and I don't want to murder your name. Pardon me, but of course, I see all of you. I'm reading the chats and I'm watching on another device. So you are not here because you're a bad parent. You are here because you love your children and you love them enough that you want to learn more, that you want to grow more. And that tells me something. That already says something beautiful about you. It tells me that you are intentional. So tonight, my goal is not to make you feel bad, make you feel like you are not doing enough. No, that is not my goal. My goal is to help you understand your child in a way that changes the atmosphere in your home. Because most times we parents, we get many things wrong. Like I do say, for those of you that have been following me on Facebook Live, on my weekly YouTube classes, I normally say this, and I'll keep saying it because that is the truth. Parenting is a learned skill. Yes, it is a learned skill. It is something we grow into. Even me as a coach, I'm going to introduce myself and you will know me better for those of you that are just, hearing me for the first time. Even as a coach, of course, I'm a parent. I am still learning. Hmm? So parenting is a learned skill. So tonight, I may challenge some of the things you have believed. Hmm. But that's okay. That's okay. You may hear some things that, okay, lights, I'm in class. Thank you for joining me. I love your vibes in the group. Thank you so much. So I may challenge many things that you have believed about your children, about discipline, about obedience, and that is very, very okay. Because I know one thing, of course, growth often happens when old assumptions are challenged. Mm, yes. when old assumptions, what we have grew up to know, when they are challenged, usually that is when growth happens. So tonight I want you to come with open mind. Hmm? Come here with open mind. Don't simply ask, do I agree with what Coach Ayo is saying? Is he saying the truth? What is it that he's saying? She's saying no. Instead, ask this question: cool, what he's saying, explain what I have been experiencing at home. That's a good question to ask, because if it does, of course it will. It may completely transform how you parent. And that is my joy. That is my expectation, to see you parent with wholeness and raise children who are emotionally stable. So, once again, I welcome you. Thank you all for joining me. So, may I introduce myself for those of you that are just listening to me for the first time? I am Ayoluwa Dedeji, also known as Coach Ayo, and people call me the parenting guru because anything about parenting, I love it. Call me into it. I love to teach parenting. I love to learn parenting. I love to write about parenting. I love to parent. I just love everything about parenting, because I know one thing, of course, that if we get parenting right, we will get almost everything right. You know, the poor governance that we are all shouting for, about, the banditry, the angry streets, all of it, all the social vices, they sprout from the home. Hmm? If we are able to get our parenting right, we'll get all of this right. And in return, our society will actually be what it used to be. So I am the founder and the lead consultant at the Model Family Focus. And what we do at the Model Family Focus is that we run parenting diagnosis assessment. That's a test we run, for parents to know where they are in their parenting journey and where they need to be, and will also equip them with tools and skills that they need to get to where they need to get to in their parenting journey. And let me do one ofufu for you. Hey, Dikinifi, thank you, you are in class. Let me do one ofufu for you. Please, after this class, do not exit the group. There are lots of goodies that are coming. If you are happy to say that, to hear that, say I am happy. Say I am happy in the chat. Say I am happy. Very soon we'll have another free class. In fact, not one. A series of them are coming up. We'll keep you updated in our class, in the group. And that's why I keep saying, if you have not saved that my number, please save it. Please save it. It will help us to communicate with you one on one. What we are building is not just a class where we just come, learn, and go. No, we are building a tribe. We are building a family. Remember, the name of my outfit is the Model Family. Yes. So we are building family. We are building a space where all of us can come together, carry each other's burden, help each other grow, help our children. Mm? So that is what we are building. So don't exit. And another thing, very soon, some of you, we are watching in the group, some of you will have opportunity to run this assessment for free. Yes, for free. It's worth hundreds of thousands, but we're glad to do it if we are able to see those of us that are really intentional and ready to do the work. Hey, let me use this opportunity to tell you, if you want change in your parenting, be ready to do the work. What I've discovered is that many of us who want the change, we are complaining, oh, my child is doing this, oh, my child doesn't, hey, my child doesn't listen. But when it gets to the work, we don't want to do the work. You have to work. Parenting is work, I can tell you. Parenting is work. So I am an associate parenting coach. I'm not just a content creator. I am trained. I am properly trained. I'm an associate parenting coach. I am a trained play therapist, meaning that I know how to use play to teach children, to instill skills. And part of the courses that we run at the Model Family is play therapy. You see that play that you people used to complain. You are ready to do the work. Thumb ups for you. Yes, we will do the work and it will show. Yes, one thing that I believe is that if you do the work, it will show. That is it. So it's not mama, it's not play, it is work. But if you are ready to do the work, honestly, I can assure you that you will see the result. So I'm also a play therapist. I am an author. I have authored 9 parenting books that are transforming families. Yes. And I've also designed over 20 models for parents. Of course, I'm going to share some of the models for you with you in class today and in our subsequent classes. Who is happy to have me here? Who is happy? Who is happy? Tell me I'm happy to have you, coach, because of course I'm happy. Fortune, okay, from Port Harcourt. You're welcome. You're welcome. You are welcome. I'm glad to have all of you. So let's move on. There is one myth that we need to deal with. There is one myth, and it is one of the biggest parenting myth that was transferred to us by our great grandparents. Yes, you're happy to be here. Thank you. I'm happy to have you too. Thank you very much, ma. This myth was transferred by our great grandparents to our grandparents, then to our parents. Then our parents have successfully transferred that myth to us. And unfortunately, we are also, working towards transferring that the same thing to our children. But you are here, we will destroy it. Here at the model family, we break many tables. Any bad table in your parenting, be ready. We will break, we will break into pieces. But don't worry, we will replace uh the broken table. So this biggest myth is that children don't listen because they are stubborn. How many of you are in class with that mentality? How many of you? Just raise your hand. Just raise your hand. Yes. The lights, Edith, thank you. You are very happy. I'm also very happy to have you here. If you are in class with that myth, that my child doesn't listen because my child is stubborn, raise up your hand in the chat. I know almost all of you, because that has been transferred to us. But hey, that may not be true in all cases. Yes, it may not be. We may be misreading the signals, and oftentimes that is what happens. Many of us grew up to believe that if a child doesn't obey, that child must be stubborn. If a child delays, that child is disrespectful. If a child argues, that child is rebellious. If a child cries, that means the child is manipulative, a lot of life. If a child forget things, and that child is careless. We grew up with this myth, but we need for us to parent, to raise children who listen. We need to destroy that myth because it is actually not true. Not in all cases. Not in all cases. Because behavior is a warning. It is not actually the problem. Behavior is like warning lights. It's a signal. There's usually something underneath that is fueling the behavior. Children behavior is often the dashboard light in their inner world. In their inner world. Let me place a scenario. If you are driving or you are in a vehicle and suddenly the light, the dashboard light starts pumping up, and maybe the siren, wow, 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 wow. Will you destroy the alarm, or will you destroy the light? No. Why? Because the light is actually not the problem. The light is telling you that there's something that needs attention in this vehicle. The same thing applies to our children. Behavior is often outcome of something deeper. Before your child misbehave, there's something deeper that is going on. in your child. There's something deeper. Something deeper is going on. So children's behavior is often the dashboard lights in their inner world. We really need to understand this. When we understand this, we'll be able to respond, not react. A lot of time we react to our children's misbehavior. We react. There's difference between reacting and responding. We react. And in the real sense of it, we should respond. We should respond. So our responsibility as parents is not just to react to what we see, but to become curious about what we cannot see yet. Oftentimes, we see the behavior, but what is happening, what is fueling the behavior is hidden. Now I need to set the foundation. I've destroyed that myth. You don't have to agree with me, but that is the truth. Hmm? Okay, so behavior is communication because children often communicate through their behaviors before they can fully express themselves. You, as an adult, you can verbally express yourself, but children don't yet have vocabulary to express themselves. So how do they verbally? So how do they express themselves? They express themselves through their behavior, and that is what you call stubbornness. Say my child is stubborn, my child doesn't listen, my child is wicked. Some of you who are spirit coco say, devil is living inside this child. Which devil? Is there devil? Yes, of course. I agree. There's devil. The scripture says we shouldn't be ignorant of the vice of the enemies. Yes, I agree with you. But hey, children are an heritage of the Lord, except if you did not get your own child from God. If your own child is from God, I believe that there's no devil living in any child. We just haven't understand how to work with our children. So we adults, we have words to express ourselves, but children have behaviors to express themselves. You as an adult, you can say I'm overwhelmed. You can say that I'm overwhelmed. But for your child to say I'm overwhelmed, your child may begin to throw tantrums. You can say I feel ignored. Your child may not have the vocabulary to say I'm ignored. So your child may be clingy unnecessarily. Are we together? Are we together? Say yes if we are together. Are we together? Please, at this point, I need to please take away every distraction. Hmm? Take away every distraction. Are we together? Let me know if we are together. So you as a parent, you can express yourself. You can say, "Oh, I'm anxious. I'm feeling anxious." But children haven't learned that skill to express themselves verbally enough. So they may refuse to leave the parent. When children, there's something we call separation anxiety. Separation anxiety. When children don't want to leave their parents. You say, hey, you are too clingy. Hey, you are too troublesome. Hey, come on. Your child is secured, feels secured with you, and you're about to leave the child. And the child is expressing that I want you around me. I feel safe with you. But you misinterpret it. Say, your problem is too much. You are just disturbing me. You are just come on now. But I know it is because we do not really understand. And that's why I'm so glad that you are here today with me. So this happens, children exhibit these behaviors because they lack emotional awareness. And this is why I usually teach parents to begin emotional education training for their children early. Start teaching your children emotional vocabulary. See, if you're able to raise children who can express themselves emotionally, honestly, half of your parenting problem is solved. Do you know that many of us, even as adults, that we misbehave when we are angry? Do you know that most likely what happened to us during our childhood is because we were not taught how to express ourselves emotionally? Mm? When they say, you are a boy now, boy doesn't cry. Mm? They are teaching you to suppress your emotion. What do you mean by boy doesn't cry? Jesus was a man. Sorry if you're not a Christian. This is not a Bible school. Yes, thank you. Ada is a thank you. Jesus was a man, right? But Jesus wept. If you're not a yes, yes, man. If you're not a Christian, sorry, I am. So I'll talk about the scripture once in a while, but just see the scripture as a book that we all need to learn. This class is not about religion. No, I work with, even if you don't believe in in God, it's parenting class. But I just talk about what I know sometimes. So Jesus was a man, right? Jesus was a man, but he wept because he felt. He felt. So when a child is crying, I say, shut up, shut up. Hey, you are teaching that child to suppress emotion, and that is dangerous. Anyone that cannot express his or her feelings will likely grow up to become an irresponsible adult. We'll talk about that sometimes later. God willing. So, because children lack emotional awareness, because they have not yet developed the language to explain what they feel, mm, they are still developing self-regulation skills. But I need you to understand this, that understanding behavior is not the same thing as excusing behavior. I'm not saying this so that you think, oh, so anything that my child is doing, I can leave my child. No, 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 no. Every child deserves to be understood, and every child still need healthy boundaries. Both are important. Every child has the right to be understood, and at the same time, every child needs healthy boundaries. You need to balance it. That is when you can raise emotionally uh, grounded children. So, understanding this will help us to choose the right intervention, because boundaries help children grow. Boundaries help children grow. Understanding behavior helps children grow. Boundaries also help children grow. So, we need both. We need both. Now, I need you to become this after this class. After this class, don't worry, I will try. One thing I have intentionally been doing as a coach is to make my teaching so simple, that my models, my framework, so simple that even a deaf person, if that's possible. Folake Godwin from Abuja, I'm glad to these are Tinubu people. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for joining us. All right. I try as much as possible to make my models, my framework so easy for anybody to use. All I need is intentionality and consistency. Intentionality and consistency, and you will get results. I can assure you, you will get results. So after this training, after the 3 days training, I need you to become a behavior detective, not a police officer. Many times, we parents, we act as police. Like you want to catch it. If you know how police, you know how police do now. For those of you that are watching from Nigeria, you know how our police people work now. A police officer will ask, who broke this rule? Like you're coming in and you meet the house. This also, I usually fall in trap. I am very open. I am vulnerable. Even as a coach, I am not perfect. As you are working on your parenting, I am also working on my parenting, because I still have children. I have younger children. So you are coming back from work and you get into the house, you see everywhere is littered, the throw pillow is on the floor, maybe plates is dirty plates are on the dining table, and you're like, who put this here, who did this? Hmm. When we were growing up, if that happens, my mom is coming back and she comes in and the home is disorganized, as she's asking, she's slapping. Who put this cup here? Bah! Who put this food here? Bah! Are you like my mom? If you are like her, confession time. Confess your sin. We will forgive you. We will forgive you. Oh, we will forgive you. So I need you to start acting like a detective. A detective will want to know why. Please explain why my child hit himself when I tried to discipline. Of course, you will learn why. Before we finish this, you will learn why. You will learn why. All right. So a detective will ask, what happens? A detective is curious. Curious, because curiosity opens the door that criticism usually closes. When you're acting like a police officer, you are criticizing. And oftentimes, if you criticize, you won't get the desired results. In the maybe in the next few slides, we'll talk about neuroscience, and maybe that will answer uh, um, frame soft the South's question. Maybe that slide will answer your your question. All right. So curiosity opens the door that criticisms often close. So the goal is actually to understand, hmm, well enough, to understand your child's behavior well enough so that you can address the real cause. So that you can address the real cause, you need to understand. So when a child slams the door, instead of you asking, how do I stop this behavior? You should ask, what is this behavior telling me? What is this child trying to tell me? Most time when a child slams the door, we think, "Oh, come back here. Is it me you're responding to like that? Is it me you're doing that too? You must be out of your mind." We always focus on stopping behavior. When we focus on stopping the behavior, we are just treating the issue on the surface. We are treating the issue from the surface. Meanwhile, the main issue is underneath. The main issue is underneath that we need to address for us to get the desired results. Are we together? So I need you to have this powerful mindset shift. And I want to leave you with this statement that when your child refuses to listen, hmm, don't just ask what is wrong with my child. That's a wrong parenting question. When you're asking what is wrong with my child, what is wrong, we even have to ask that, what is wrong with you? Mm-mm. The right question to ask is, what is happening inside of my child? What is happening inside of my child? When your child, react to you, you are trying to discipline your child, you are trying to correct your child, and your child is doing something contrary, something that you do not expect. Instead of asking, how do I stop this behavior? Ask, what is producing this behavior? What is producing this behavior? Don't just ask, how do I gain control? Hey, let me talk about this, because I know many of us, we think because we are the parent, we should be in control. Hmm? After all, you are the dad now. You are the dad. You are the one feeding the child. You are the one paying the school fee. You are the one providing shelter. You think you should be in control. But if you want to raise a child who behaves well, hmm, you shouldn't be in control. You shouldn't be in control. Parenting is not about control. It is about you controlling yourself to manage your child. If you want to control your child, you will get damaged and you will damage your child. Did you get that? Did you get that? If you get that, say yes. Say yes in the chat. Parenting is not about you controlling your child. You should control yourself to manage your child. That is when and how you can raise awesome children. That is when you can raise your children. Don't just ask when your child is misbehaving. You are talking to your child is not responding, or your child is giving attitude. Don't only ask, why won't my child listen? I know that is what brought many of you to this class. Why is my child not listening? Why can't my child just okay, thank you. Yes, thank you. Why can't my child just obey me? Ask, what might be making listening difficult right now? Because of a truth, children don't listen, not because they actually don't want to listen. Let's move on. We have a lot to discuss tonight. So, what does listening really mean? We need to understand what it really means. And I'm going to teach a model here. 6 invisible stages between instruction and action. Most times when you give instruction, you just expect your child to say, get up, go and get me a cup of water. You just expect your child to get up to get to a cup of water. But in between you giving the instruction and your child responding to your instruction, there are a series of activities that goes on, that happen, that you don't know. So I'm going to teach listen model. I hope you are in class with your notebook. I hope you are in class with your notebook, because of course you can't get all of these once. Anyway, the replay will be available, so you can watch again. So 6 invisible stages between instruction and action. I need you to understand this, that listening is not instant. Listening is not instant. Before an instruction comes to an action, a child's brain moves through invisible processes. And if there is a breakdown at any point, your child will not do what you want your child to do. And that's where the problem comes. That's where the problem comes from. That is where the problem comes from. So we often assume that unwillingness, when the child may actually be unable in that moment, we assume that my child is not doing this because he doesn't want to do it, because he's stubborn. We do not understand that that child, in the sense of it, might be unable. It's beyond the child's willpower. Now, L for locate. L, I'm talking about the listen model. Let me call up my slide here. Listen model. I mean LISTEN. Listen. Listen model. Are we together? All right. Listen model. The first thing is to locate. The L stands for locate. You need to ask that question. Did my child actually notice instruction? Let me give an illustration. Okay, let me quickly run through. Listen means locate. Sorry, L means locate. I means interpret. S means self-regulate. T means think. E means execute. And N means notice. If you get that, you can please put it in the chat so that people can also get through uh, that reading. So let's talk about them one after the other. L, locate. You need to ask, if you give instruction, did your child actually locate your instruction? For instance, you are in the bedroom, your child is in the living room, your child is maybe excuse me, maybe your child is watching TV, or maybe he's playing game, or excuse me, child is in the middle of something, and you say, "Oh, David, pick up that thing for me." Did you notice that your child actually locates that instruction? Did you think about that? So, for your child to be able to yield to your instruction, your child needs to first locate you. Yes, your child needs to first locate you, then interpret. Your child should be able to interpret what you mean. So another question you should ask is that, did my child understand what I mean? You know, there are times that I will ask my children to do something and say, but I told you to do this. What happened? And they'll say, Ma, but I don't understand. And I'll be like, yeah. So with all these things that I said, don't, that's the truth. And you, because you have spoken, hey, go and do this, do this. You think because you have spoken, your child should immediately do what you say. Meanwhile, your child may not even understand what you are saying. Then self-regulate. S is for self-regulate. We need to ask ourselves, can our children, as our children build that skill to self-regulate? A child is playing game, is of course is deeply engaged in the game, and you say, go and get me this. Do you think that child has developed the emotional regulation to be able to transit? A lot of time we don't know that transition is a big deal for children. When children are transiting from one activity to the other, it's a big deal for them, and that's why sometimes they resist, and we call it stubbornness. No, their brains are not wired to quickly transit. As an adult, your brain is developed so you can switch from this to this, but children's brain has not yet developed to that. Oh, sorry, for lack of Godwin, you have network challenge. Yes, yes, of course, the replay will be available. Yes, the replay will be available. Sorry about that. So T stand for think. Can they plan and remember the next step? Can they plan? That's another question we should ask. Can they plan? These are the series of things that are happening. For your child to be able to follow your instruction, your child should be able to plan. And all of these things happen within short period of time. Then he executes. Can your child turn your instruction into action? Can your child then notice, what do they learn from your feedback? So here is what I want you to take away. Action comes before instructions. And clarity reduces confusion. So you need to ensure that your children are clear about your instruction. You will understand better when we move on. So, excuse me, you need to investigate the breakdown before labeling disobedience. You see all these 6 invisible uh, um, stages that I call the listen model. If there's a breakdown in any of this, of course, you will give instruction and your child will not act. I know it can be annoying, but that is what it is. That is what it is. So better understanding of this will lead to better operation. If we understand these invisible stages between instruction and action, it will help you. It will help you to know how to react. So let me quickly use an illustration to explain this model, this and that entire model that I just explained. Let's assume there is a David. So the mother said, David, please put your tablet away and come for dinner. L locates. We should ask, did David shift his attention from what he's doing? Interpret, that's I. Did he clearly understand what the mother meant? Then self-regulate. Did David, uh, as David learned how to manage the disappointment of stopping something enjoyable? When children are enjoying, even you as an adult, if you are enjoying something, it's hard for you to quickly transit. Let's be honest. Then think, can David um, developing brain organize transition? Can his brain deal with transition? Execute. Can he physically put the tablet down and walk to the table and do what is asked to do. Notice how did, yes, thank you, Adedeji Toyin. Oh, my namesake. Thank you. Why did you delete it now? Why now? Okay, please put that back in the chat. So, how did everyone respond when you obeyed? These are the 6 invisible stages that happens between giving instruction and action. Every one of those steps influences whether listening becomes behavior. You need to ensure that there is no breakdown. Okay, it's okay. All right. So if there is breakdown at any point, you will be disappointed. But if you understand this, even if you give instruction and your child is not listening, you will understand why your child is doing that. You will understand why your child is doing that, and you will be able to deal with it responsibly. So I want you to leave this part, yes. I want you to leave this part before I move to the next part. I want you to go with this, that listening is a process, not event. It is a process. There's something that should happen after one thing has happened, another thing should happen, another thing should happen. Then that is when your child can act. Hearing is not the same as listening. Even some of you as parents, hmm, hearing is not the same as listening. Maybe you are watching a movie that you are enjoying, and somebody talks to you. You heard, right? You heard someone speaking, but at that point you may not be able to really understand. Has that happened to you? I say, okay, what did you say? I heard you say something. It happens to children too. So hearing is not the same as listening. The fact that your child heard your voice doesn't mean that your child is listening. Then cooperation begins with attention. The first thing to do if you want your child to listen is to grab your child's attention. Ensure that you grab your child attention. You will learn how to do that. Then you should also know that emotional regulation affects obedience. Emotional regulation, one of the courses that we run at the model family is emotional regulation. See, emotion regulation is a big deal. Is a big deal. As parents, if you can't regulate your emotion, you can't raise a child who will be able to regulate emotion. And anyone whatsoever that cannot regulate emotion, that person is in trouble. Yes, listen. Thank you. Thank you for that. So every instruction travels through the brain. Every damn instruction travels through the brain before it becomes behavior. So when you say, Ada, get me a spoon, and Ada refused to get you a spoon, Ada is not refusing to get you a spoon because Ada doesn't want to get you a spoon. Something is going on in the brain. I will talk about the neuroscience. So those truths alone can change the way you parent. If you understand this, honestly, it will change how you parent. So I also want to talk about why your child cannot always access their best behavior. Your child, one thing that many of us believe and that is not possible is that we expect our children to always access their best behavior. It is not possible. Even you as parents. Shebi, many of us are in the group. We kept posting. This WhatsApp group is for parenting. Do not share anything that is not related to parenting. Do not broadcast anything. No advertisement. Shebi, some of us are still posting things that are not related to the group, to the purpose of the group. Why? Because we can't assess our behavior even as adults, always. So this also applies to children. And I'm going to tell you why. Hmm? Because I know some of you say, but coach, my child knows better. My child understand what I said. My child should behave well. My child behaves well when he or she wants. Why do they suddenly have? Why will my child suddenly have as if he has lost our senses and I should just be looking? No, that is one of the most important questions in parenting, and the answer is found in neuroscience. And we will, of course, talk about neuroscience because I want you to understand something that will change the way you respond to difficult moments. Hmm? Because a child who is struggling is not always a child who is choosing to struggle. Mm-mm. Sometimes the child's brain is working from a different place. Now, the brain is designed for two jobs, mainly for two jobs. The first one is to keep us safe, and the second one is to help us to learn and grow. Are we together in class? Who's here with me? Are we together in class? Say, I am here with you. Say, I am here with you. So I was saying that before we talk about children's behavior, we need to understand our brain's priority. Hmm? The problem is not that the safety comes first. I'm going to talk about how the brain, especially the children brains, how it is organized, and that's what we call neuroscience. So, children, the brain is designed for two main jobs. Number one is to keep you safe, then to help us learn to grow. Let me give you this scenario. Assuming you are walking uh, a lonely path in a bush, and somehow you just heard, oh, who is that? You just heard a strange voice. Will you stand there and be analyzing who is speaking? What kind of voice is this? Would you try, okay, thank you, you're here with me, thank you. Would you just stand and say, oh, who is speaking like this? What is happening? Will you do that? Of course, no, you won't. Your brain will switch immediately, hmm, to want to protect you. To want to protect you. Your brain will switch immediately because that is the first thing that your brain is designed to do, to keep you safe. Instantly, your brain can send signal to you that you start shouting, start running, and anything. Depends on the circumstance. Depends on the circumstance. So the same thing happens to the children. Hmm? You hear the noise, you turn. Maybe your heart start beating fast. Hmm? Your heart start beating boom, 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 boom. Your muzzle is raised, and you are shivering, and your attention narrows. Why? Because your brain is designed to protect you. Your brain is designed to protect you. Now, we are getting to the real business. We want to talk about how children brains work. Today is for the children. Tomorrow is for you, the parents. So see your child's brain as a house that has upstairs and downstairs. I want to give a simple illustration so that all of us will be able to understand. All right. So the brain house, I call this the brain house. Of course, there's upstairs brain, there's downstairs brain. Mm. So the upstairs brain is the one that's responsible for decision making, thinking before acting, solving problem, impulse control, showing empathy, managing emotions, and all of that, considering consequence. That is a responsibility of the upstairs brain. Did you get that? Are you getting anything at all? I'm talking about the upstairs brain. That is the function of the upstairs brain. Now, the downstairs brain. That one knows how to respond quickly to threat. Hmm? Threat. And this part of the brain includes amygdala. And amygdala is the part of the brain that matures early. And that's why a baby can cry because that's the part that controls emotion. Hmm? But the upstairs brain, the major part of the upstairs brain is prefrontal cortex, and this part doesn't fully develop until mid 20. Yes, thank you, Adedeji Toyin. Yes, locate, interpret, self-regulate, think. This is ones I heard before I got distracted. Can someone mention the remaining? Please, can you please compliment what Adedeji Toyin has said? Thank you for putting this in the chat. Thank you very much. Please, anything you get, drop it in the chat box. Let us also learn from each other. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. So, the prefrontal cortex doesn't develop until mid 20s, from 25, 26. I made a post on my Facebook, on my I usually talk about, I teach parenting on my social media platform. If you haven't followed me on my Facebook, I'm on Facebook as Ayulu Adedeji. You can follow me. I talk almost every day about parenting, almost every day. I talk about parenting. So I made a post that about this prefrontal cortex, and the post, went viral. And people were saying, "Okay, thank you, Light, thank you very much, thank you for being with me." And people are like, "Oh, so." I said it jokingly. I made that post jokingly that your child is working with brain under construction, meaning that even some of you who are parents, who are still in your early 20s, maybe 23, 24, something like that, your brain is still under construction. So how much more 5-year-old child, 3-year-old child, 7-year-old child, the brain is still under construction, and that is why they can't always behave the way we expect. Hmm? So I'm talking about the downstairs brain. This part of the brain is for protection and survival. The brain is always asking, is there danger? Do I need to protect myself? Do I need to protect myself? Is there any danger here? It acts like an alarm system. Alarm system. It always scans for danger. That is what it is designed for. And this is very important, because if we do not have this part of the brain, there will be problem, there will be danger, and we won't even be able to, to identify that there is a danger. This section of the brain is very, very important. So when the downstairs brain takes over, the downstairs brain, remember, that is the one that is responsible for protection and survival. When it takes over, the upstairs brain, that is responsible for making wise choices, that is responsible for solving problems, that is responsible for emotional control, for empathy, for managing emotions, cannot be accessed. Come here, hear this. Those of you that will create fear in your child because you want to correct or you want to teach, this is why your child may never get what you are saying. Because when you are creating fear, you are putting on the downstairs brain. A child is afraid. Let me tell you what happens when the downstairs brains take over. The brain automatically switch to 3 modes. Is either flight mode, flight, the child want to run away. Fight mode, the child want to face the threat. And freeze mode, the child is just there confused, not knowing what to do. So if you want to teach, and you first of all create fear in your child, your child cannot learn, because what the child's brain is thinking about is survival. How do I survive this situation? The child's brain is seeing you as threat. So that's why you keep saying, "Hey, I've talk. I've said this. Hey, how many times have I said this? Yet you will not listen." Oh, come. The part of the brain that's supposed to learn, you have shut it down. And you switch on the part that sees you as threat. And this is one major reason why your child will not listen. This is one major reason why many of us, even as a child, why many of us cannot internalize discipline. Nobody thrives on fear, under fear. Nobody, even you as an adult. Fear stifle growth. Some of you will be proud. Ah, my child fears me. Ah, my child is afraid of me. Ah, my child, no. See, you are not doing well. I have to tell you this. You are not doing well. You are not doing well. If you want to teach your child, you want your child to internal. Do you know that the goal of discipline is not having children who can do the right thing when we are there? That's not the goal of discipline. I mean, if I have to be there for my children to take better choices, what have I done? Nothing. The goal of parenting is to equip your children with skills to be able to make uh, better choices, even when you are not there. Because, of course, you won't always be there with your children. I say this often. And when I'm talking about this, I'm not even saying when we are old and we are gone. Your child is in school. During the school hour, so many things happen. Are you there? You are not there. Things happen that your child need to take decisions, to make better choices. So the goal of healthy parenting is not to raise children who will obey because you are there. The goal is to raise children who will make better choices when you are not there. Mm. So when the downstairs brain take over, the upstairs brain is harder to use. So when you want to teach your child, you want to correct your child, you want to discipline your child, you need to ensure that the downstairs brain is shut down, kind of, and the upstairs brain is at work. That is when your child can really internalize what you are saying. Did you get that? Did you get that? Let me know if you get that. I hope I'm not just talking to myself. Hmm? I think we are just online and we are drinking tea. If you are here with me, let me hear you. Let me hear you in the chat box. Say I'm here. Oh. Hmm? Tell me I'm here. Oh. Right? Are we together? Okay. Oh, Auntie Bola, thank you, my auntie. I tried calling you this afternoon. I've not been seeing you online. Ah, it is well. A lot is happening. We'll be fine. We'll talk later, ma. Thank you for joining. So I want to talk about the stress response. Hmm? When children feel threatened, the brain moves into protection mode. The brain just wants to protect itself. Yes, you are here. Okay, thank you, Adedeji. Okay. Thank you, Perpetua. Thank you. Okay, then I can move on. All right. So I want to explain the fight mode, the flight mode, the freeze mode. I really need you to understand. So when a child, when the section of the brain that is responsible for survival, when it is on, these are the three things that I've talked about. These are three things that are likely to happen. Fight. The child might move towards the threat. This might mean shouting, arguing, and for someone who asks, why does my child hit me when I'm trying to discipline? Someone asked that question. I can't remember who asked that question exactly, but someone answered that question. And this could be uh, the reason, right? This could actually be the reason. Your child, the brain, is in the fight mode and the child wants to move towards the threat. At that point, your child is seeing you as threat. The brain, not actually your child's brain is seeing you as threat. So the child may argue, the child may shout, the child may hit, the child may say hurtful words, the child may start challenging instruction. That means the child's brain is on fight mode. Fight mode. Then the second thing that is likely to happen is flight. The child tries to escape because the child has seen threat. And of course, when you see threat, you are likely to want to run away. So that is the message the brain is sending to your child. It's not actually that is what your child wants to do. No. Then, okay, this flight mode, your child can run away, child can try to avoid homework, leave the room, change the subject. You know, when you're talking to your child and your child is walking away, and you're like, come back here. I'm talking to you, you're walking away. It is actually not your child. The brain has signal, the brain is already on flight mode, and the child want to leave that scene. Then the third one is freeze mode. The child just shuts down. For those of you that you are professional in beating, have you noticed that sometimes when you are beating a child, the child will just get freeze? Hmm? Yes, the brain has switched to freeze mode. There could be silence. The child can just be staring blankly as if the child is unconscious. The child can forget what the child knows. Hmm? The child may not respond. These are the things that happens. So when you are trying to correct your child, or you are trying to give instruction, and you are first creating fear, you are first instilling fear in your child, this is what will happen to your child's brain. And under this state, any brain that is on flight, fight, or freeze mode can never learn. Even you as adults, that brain can never learn. You will just talk, 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 blah, blah, blah. The next time, the child will repeat the same thing. And that's why you keep saying, I have talked, I have beaten, I have shouted, and the child, my child is stubborn, my child is devilish, my child is dead, demonic, and all of that. No, your child is not demonic. Devil is not living inside your child. What it just means is that you do not understand how your child's brain works. Now, when all of this happens, you know, you give instruction, there's breakdown in the processes. You know, we've talked about what happens, the eating processes that happens from giving instruction to action. When there's a breakdown, what is likely to happen? You are likely to shout as a parent. But you know what? It is that shouting that even worsens everything. So why shouting usually fail? For instance, you ask nicely, you ask your child, do this, you know, you are calm, you are relaxed, you ask, eh, James, can you please do this for me? The child refused to listen. You repeat yourself. The child still did not respond. What happens? You get frustrated. The next thing, you shout, are you deaf? Can't you hear me? How many times do you want me to talk? Then maybe the child moves. Hmm? Do you notice, or do you know that shouting does not actually teach discipline? It doesn't. It usually activates fear. So your children can listen for two reasons. They can listen as a way of cooperation, or they can listen out of fear. The best one is for you to get your child to listen because they understand that they should listen, not out of fear. Because if they act out of fear, of course, they will not internalize that discipline. Fear doesn't automatically build responsibility. It doesn't. It doesn't build understanding. It doesn't build self control. It doesn't even build character. It doesn't. It doesn't. And what it teaches is that when someone bigger becomes angry, I should protect myself, because fear teaches the brain to protect itself. Shouting may lead to immediate compliance, but often, it often works by triggering the child's survival system. The child survival system will just be at alert, and you are talking, the child may even be looking at you, but what the child's brain is thinking is, how do I escape this threat? What do I need to do to escape here? This is a danger. Your child will not learn. Your child will not learn. Then I quickly want to talk about the brain state pathway. The brain state pathway. This will buttress the hidden process of what happens from giving instructions to uh, actions. All right. That will, sorry, That will, sorry, excuse me. Okay, so this is a simple framework for how children move towards cooperation, from calm brain to learning brain, then to listening brain, then that leads to cooperative behavior. Let me quickly run through that. Let me quickly run through that. Calm brain, it means that emotional safety comes first. When your child is emotionally safe, your child will be able to locate your instruction, interpret it. Sometimes when I want to correct our children, that's why for parents, you need emotional intelligence. That's why I said, for those of us that came late to class, I said it, please don't exit the WhatsApp group. Series of free classes is coming up, and one of the classes will be emotional intelligence. See, as parents, you need to be emotional intelligent. If you are not emotionally intelligent, you can't raise well-behaved children. You can't raise children who will listen. The truth is that many of us unconsciously taught our children not to listen to us without us knowing. Mm, yes, unconsciously, unconsciously. So sometimes when I want to correct our children, even in my anger, I've been able to work on my emotions. Sometimes I'll first tell them, "Oh dear, I love you." But you see, this behavior is not acceptable because this is not who we are. I love you. Do you know that statement? I love you. Communicate that, okay, even though I've gotten something wrong, it still means that my parent is here. My parent can walk with me through this stage. Remember, they are learning. They are still learning. So emotional safety comes first. That's the calm brain. I'm talking about the brain state pathway, a simple framework for how children move towards cooperation. Then the learning brain. Safety opens the door to growth. When your child feels safe with you, your child will be able to learn. Your child will be able to listen. Your child will be able to explore. Your child will be able to explain correction. Your child will be able to learn new skill. There is this one teacher, one math teacher. The reason why many people don't like mathematics, it's not because mathematics is hard, no, but because we are afraid of the teacher. Hmm? There's this one math teacher that my husband used to talk about. I know the person. In fact, the person is someone I know very well. Is a family, distant family. Used to be a math teacher, very very good. Yes, yes. So yes, Auntie Bola. This teacher is very very good. But before he teaches, he will talk down on the students, he will abuse the student, he will say rubbish the children, his pupil, unknown to him. He's shutting down the session of the brain that's supposed to learn. So he's just teaching. The pupils are not learning, and that is why we keep complaining that I've been talking, I've been calling my children. My children are not listening. My children, it is not your child's fault. Check yourself. Hmm. Yes. Emotional intelligence. We will talk about it. It is important. If you are not emotionally intelligent, your child will not listen because when you are supposed to connect, you'll be correcting. And without connection, correction cannot happen. Yes. So even in your anger, you need to learn how to connect. How to connect. Even when your children see that you're angry, sometimes when I'm angry, and I just say to children, see, I am angry right now. I need some time to process my emotions. They say, leave, oh, leave. Mommy is angry. Let mommy go. Let mommy go and rest. Leave mommy. Mommy is angry. So instead of shouting, raising my hey, I just said, I need some time to process my emotion. And I go into my room. I can pick a book to read. I can, sing song. I can do something. In the next 5, 10 minutes, I walk out. And they'll be asking, Mommy, are you now okay? Yes, I'm okay. We can now talk. Because that is when they can learn. If I'm talking while I'm angry, I'm already switching the part of the brain, the learning brain. Yes, ma. Yes, Auntie Bola. If you can't connect, you cannot correct in a right way. You know, you can't. So safety opens door for growth. For you to raise children who can listen to you, you first need to make them safe. Then that will lead to listening brain. Now the child can process instruction. Now your child can say, okay, this is what mommy is telling me to do. This is what daddy wants me to do. And that will eventually lead to cooperative behavior. Now, the 6 hidden reasons children stop listening. Listen here. Listen carefully. These are the 6 reasons why children stop listening. How many of you know? How many of you have experienced this? You are telling your children, go and sweep. Who is sweeping? Like our son. Our son is for now is in charge of sweeping. You're saying, oh, David, go and tidy up the house. David did not hear you. But he said, David, go and pick biscuits, and they run. Have you experienced that? That's children for you. Hmm? So I want to teach you the framework. How come David that didn't hear you when you asked David to go and do something now hears you even when you are in the other room telling David to go and pick candy or something? How come David is not hearing? There's something that happened. So I'm going to teach resist framework. R-E.S.I.S.T. Please put that down in the chat box. R-E.S.I.S.T. Resist framework. R stands for relationship disconnection. I'm talking about the 6 hidden reasons why children stop listening. The R stands for relationship disconnection. If there's a disconnect, your child will stop listening to you. Children listen best when they feel connected, when they feel safe, and when they feel emotionally seen. I work with teenagers, and one thing I've noticed about teenagers is that, you know, teenagers that their parents are complaining, oh, my child is doing this, my child doesn't talk to me, my child is doing this, my child is doing that. They easily connect with me and they share things that they can't even share with their parent with me. And there's a secret to that. There's one secret, and that's the secret I'm teaching now. I get connected to them. So if you want to influence your child, you need to be connected. You cannot influence who you are not connected with. You too, think about it now. If you have a boss that will always talk you down, that will always get you angry, that will always, make you feel a less person of yourself, can that person influence you? Of course, no. It happens the same way. So the first reason, the R, resist. I intentionally use resist because this is one of the most parents use that when they are complaining. Oh, coach, my child resists this. My child resists instruction. My child resists my order. That's why I developed this framework so that it can speak to us. So resist. 6 hidden reasons why children stop listening. R, relationship disconnect. There's disconnection. When there's disconnection, your child will not listen. Emotional overload. Sometimes children are not just refusing. They are not. They are overwhelmed and their emotional bucket is full. For instance, maybe your child is playing game. Your child lost the game. His siblings are making jest of him. And that time, you call me. Oh yeah, Sarah, go and do this to me. Do you think the child is emotionally ready to do what you ask the child to do? But you don't want to know. As parents, you give order. Most of us, like I said, we act as police officer. Oh yeah, get up, go and do this. We don't even want our children to question us. We don't say, I am the parent, I told you to do this, why are you not doing it? We just want to raise yes mom, yes dad. See, if your goal is to raise yes mom child, yes dad child, you are not doing well. You are is an error. Is an error. You should raise children who can challenge respectfully. Respectful. We raise our children to challenge us. Even when we are doing something, we allow them to challenge us. Mommy, why do you do this? Even we have a child who is going 4 year, a 4 year old child, and he has learned to challenge us. Sometimes when I do something, he will ask me, "Mommy, what you did, is it worship to God?" But many of us, we don't want our children. We see it as rebellion. Do you know that the reason why many children are abused sexually is because they have been taught not to challenge. Hmm? No, yes, thank you. Right. Thank you. Emotional overload. That's E. Then I move to S. Skill deficits. C. Children are learning. And this is, if you can get this into your brain, honestly, parenting will be less stressful. Children are learning. We just assume that they should do everything we ask them to do. From where now? Where did they learn it? You, maybe you are 35 years, you are 40 years, you are 45 years, and you are expecting your child, who is a 10-year-old child, to be able to wash plates perfectly, the way you wash plates, the plates you have been washing for over 30 years. Come on now. Come on. Skill deficit. They are still learning. They're still learning how to manage emotions. That's not bad character. It's skill deficit. This is one of the reasons why children stop uh, listening. Independence. I stand for independence. Healthy autonomy. You know, many of us don't want this, especially if you have toddler. If you have children from age 2 to 5, 6, they are developing autonomy. They are making sense of their world. And when you ask them to do something, there is this no. You ask them to do something, they say no. If you have a child who is very expressive, that say no, I'm not doing. It is not bad behavior. It is the stage. It is developmentally okay for your child to say no. Don't beat your child because your child is saying no. No is a positive answer. Ha. You just need to teach them to be able to say no respectfully. If someone is abusing your child, so maybe your child comes home and say, one uncle asked me to remove my pants. What would you say? You say, and you cannot tell the person no. You would have forgotten that you have told your child that your child shouldn't challenge you. See, your child will learn how to say no to people outside from you. So if you don't create that platform for your child to be able to say no to you, to challenge you, even when your child is being maltreated outside, your child will not be able to resist. And that's dangerous. Independence. So that's healthy autonomy. It is okay. When your child is saying no, you ask your child, do this thing, your child is saying no. It is okay. It is developmentally okay. That is what the stage requires. You just need to teach your child how and when to say no. Then S for sensory slash emotional overload. Sometimes there's noise, there's music, there is, some of us, the way we design our house, it is sensory overload. I make a video every Wednesday. I upload video on my YouTube channel, and that's why I keep telling you, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so. Every Wednesday I drop short video, 5 to 10 minutes. I talked about different aspects of parenting, and every Saturday by 7 p.m. I do online class, talk about real. We have real parenting conversation. So if you have not subscribed, please subscribe, click the notification button so that even if you forget, you can get notified. So sensory overload, when you are raising children, there is a way you should design your house. There's a way you can design your the video I talked about, that I uploaded last week Wednesday. I think I talked about the home arrangement. I talk about how to arrange your home. There's a way you can arrange your home that will equip your children, that will help you enable your children to obey, to listen, to follow instructions, and it will make parenting less stressful for you. So noise, screens, crowd spaces, and too much input can reduce cooperation. You need to watch that. And T stand for trust gap. I'm talking about resist framework. 6 reasons why children stop listening. Mm. Trust gap. See, if your child does not trust you, your child cannot follow your instruction. Mm. And trust is built. Your child will not trust you because you are the parent. You build it. The way you build trust with your friends, the way you build trust with your husband, you build, many of us don't know that the way we nurture every other relationship, we should nurture a relationship with our children. We don't. You just think because after all, I'm the mother, he should trust me. He should tell me everything. No, you have to engineer your own. You have to set up a system that will make your child to trust you. So if there's trust gap, your child will stop listening to you. When we understand the reason behind resistance, there will be change in behavior. Now, why punishment often fails? I will soon be rounding up now. This class is supposed to be for 90 minutes. So why punishments often make listening worse? When your child refuses to listen, we automatically, assume that my child is stubborn, and the next thing we do is that we punish. There's difference between compliance and cooperation. So compliance means do what I say or else you will face consequence. So the child will do what you ask the child to do because the child wants to escape from the consequence. But cooperation means I understand, I trust, and I choose to work with you. Which one do you think is better? Hmm? Which one do you think is better? Any child who comply. If you raise a compliant child, the child will do what is right in your presence. And when you are not there, the child will do otherwise. And that's what we are having. That's what we are having. That's one of the things that parents complain to me. Coach, when I'm there, my child will behave like a good child. Oh. When I'm not there, my child will do anyhow. It is because you have unconsciously raised compliant child. You have not raised cooperative child. You haven't. You haven't. Because there are two different things. A compliant child will do the right thing to avoid consequence. And a cooperative child will do something because the child understand why the child needs to do. And the goal of parenting is not just to produce children who will comply. No, 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 that's not the goal of parenting. The goal is to raise children who develop wisdom and self-control. Wisdom and self-control even when nobody is watching them. The reason why many of our children we do well at home, and when they gain admission into that institution they just mess up, is because we have raised them to be compliant, and now that we are not there, they are doing what they like. Hmm? They are doing what they like. Okay, so punishment versus discipline. Punishment versus discipline. Discipline focuses on growth. Discipline focuses on growth. Punishment focuses on pain. When you are punishing your child, there are two different things. Most time when we are punishing, we think we are disciplining our children. Let me tell you for free, beating, yelling, shouting is not discipline. It is not. It is punishment. Punishment asks the question, how do I make this child feel pain for what the child has done? But discipline is how do I equip this child to be able to make better choices next time? So there are 3 questions you should ask before correcting. What skill does my child need to learn? If you ask these 3 questions, you will discipline correctly. What you call discipline is actually not discipline most times. The next free training we'll be having, the next free masterclass we'll be having is about discipline. So we'll talk extensively about that. We'll talk so much about that. And I want to encourage you, your children teacher should be in this class. Yes, your children's teacher should be in this class, because even in schools, at modern family, We also do school system installations, and most times our schools leave our children, they give our children back to us damaged, all in the name of discipline, because they do not know what discipline is. Just as you don't know, just as you will take your child to school and you tell your children teacher, beat him very well. Ọmọ yẹn ò ń gbọ́ràn, he doesn't listen. Beat him very well. Shey you have done that? Come, that's not discipline. Hmm? That is not discipline. There's difference between punishment and discipline. So the first question you should ask is, what skill does my child need to learn? My child is not behaving well. What skill does my child need to learn? The second question is, will my response help my child become wiser? What I want to do to my child, will it make my child wiser? Because the goal of discipline is to equip your child so that when the same situation happens, your child should be able to make better choices. And the third question is, am I correcting behavior while protecting connection? Any form of correction you are doing, that you are giving, that is causing disconnection. Remember the reason why children stop listening. We talk about the first R, resist. The first R is relationship disconnect. Hmm? Whatever form of discipline that you are using that is affecting connection with your child is actually not discipline in the real sense of it. Because when there's disconnection in your relationship, your child will not internalize your discipline. Hmm? Your child will not internalize your discipline. And you know that the goal of discipline is not to make children pay for mistakes. No child should pay for mistakes. Hmm? The goal is to help children learn from mistakes. For instance, you just finish mopping. You are so tired, you have worked, and your child spills milk. You want to discipline that child. It is not to beat. If you be, in fact, beating is excusing children from learning consequence. We'll talk about that in our next um, training. Discipline is ensuring that the child clean the mess him or herself. Oh, you split the milk. It's okay, mistake happens. We can clean it together. Go and bring the dust or something. Then the child clean it. The child will learn that, okay, I split me, I clean. So next time the child will, if I do this, this is what will happen to me. But if you just beat a child, the child will forget. So the goal of discipline is not to make children pay for mistakes. It is to help children learn from mistakes. So how do you investigate behavior? I said it in, I think, in the third or fourth slide, that from now on, I need you to become a detective, not a police officer. Stop trying to catch your children. So how do you investigate behavior before you correct it? And I want to teach this using another model, behave. B-E-H-A-V-E. If you get that, please put it in the chat. B-E-H-A-V-E, lens. Behave lens. The first one is before. What happened before this behavior? You are investigating. You are investigating behavior. Remember, we have talked that behavior is communication. Your child is not listening, not because your child, yes, thank you, ma, behave, yes. Yes, you got it right. Behave. Your child is not listening to you, not because your child doesn't want to listen. There's something that is making listening difficult for your child. So as a parent, you shouldn't just deal with, my child is not listening, my child is not listening, I need to flog my child, I need to shout. You should investigate, what is making my child not listening to me? Is it the way I'm communicating? Is it that my child is having problem or something? So I'm using behave lens. B, what happens before? B stands for before. What happened before this behavior? Every behavior has beginning. That your child refused to listen, that's not the beginning. That's actually in the end. So every behavior has beginning. The antecedents often gives important clues. Okay, last time when I say this, my child doesn't listen. But when I say this thing in this manner, my child listen. You are investigating what happens. Be before you investigate what happens before the behavior. Then he stands for emotions. I'm talking about emotions again because in parenting, emotion is huge. Emotional regulation is big deal. In fact, when I started my intentional parenting journey, the first thing I started working on is my emotion because many of us were not taught. Many of us were not taught how to manage our emotions, and unfortunately, we are passing it down to our children. That cycle has to stop with you because it has stopped with me. So, emotions, what emotion is present? You ask, what emotions might my child be experiencing? Is my child feeling frustrated? Is my child tired? A lot of us don't even believe that children can be tired, that children also undergo stress. We don't know. Ha! Many of our children are dealing with chronic stress without us knowing. Remember, I said it that children cannot express themselves verbally like we, the adults. Hmm? Chronic stress. Chronic stress. So you need to ask the question, emotions, what emotions is my child dealing with? Then H, habits. H stand for habit. Habit. What pattern exists? Hmm? Is this becoming a pattern? This habit, is my child repeating this? What is making this habit to repeat itself? Then H. A for age. I need to rush now. Age for A for age. Is this developmentally appropriate? See, if you understand, I do one of the things I normally recommend for parents of toddlers or even people who are just preparing for parenthood is to go and study neuroscience and child development. I talked about this in my book, Discipline Without Damage. I talk about what you should expect per age. If you understand this, see, most of the things that we call problem, for instance, you are saying your 4 year child is playing too much. I mean, that's developmentally okay. It is appropriate. It is appropriate. So you need to ask, is my expectation appropriate for my child's age and stage? Most times, what we are expecting from our children are not appropriate age wise. You are expecting a 4 year old child, a 5 year old child to sit still to still to sit still. No, their brain is not wired to sit at a point for long. Their brain is wired for curiosity. They want to know what is happening here. Why is this like this? They want to know, and that's why they keep spoiling things. They are not spoiling things because they want to spoil, but because that's their stage is curiosity. So you need to ask age. A for age. I talked about B before. E emotion. H habit. A age. Is this developmentally appropriate? Then V, value. What unmet need is driving this behavior? Children may be communicating needs such as connection. Sometimes when children need connection, they can communicate it with their attitude. Attention, belonging. Your child is unnecessarily clingy. Your child is not a bad child. Your child could be clingy, asking for attention. Oh, I need attention. I need attention. Sometimes our children will just come. Even our 7 year old child just come, mommy, carry me. It's okay. That's not the time to say, hey, I'm tired. Hey, will you get away? I know you are tired. But now you born now. The pikin, yes, behave. Thank you, light. The pikin stay jeje for heaven. Now you call the pikin come. So you got to attend to the child. So value or need. Hmm? Children may become, when your child is not listening, you should investigate what need does the child, is this child communicating? Is it connection? Is it attention? Is it belonging? Is it control? Is it competence? What is it? Then E, environment. Environment. What around the child is affecting your child? That's E for environment. You need to investigate that. Is there anything that is influencing my child's behavior in my environment. If you are raising toddlers and you just pack everything, you have glass table, you have this, you have that, you are already communicating to your child to be hyperactive. To be hyperactive. So behind every behavior is a child trying to communicate something. Behind every behavior, that child is trying to communicate something. And your job is to listen beyond behavior. That is your job as a parent. So I want to leave you with this. Hmm? As we close tonight, children don't give us our time. Children don't wake up today and just think, oh, how do I make life hard for my parents? No, they often behave that way because they are having hard time managing something they do not yet know how to manage, how to handle. So your child is not listening, not because your child don't actually want to listen, but because your child is dealing with something that is bigger than your child. And your job is not just to stop the behavior. Your job is to develop the child behind that behavior. Your job is to investigate what is fueling that behavior. Hmm? The greatest gift you can give to your child is not simply external obedience. Don't aim at raising obedient child. Hmm? Internal wisdom should be the goal. Internal wisdom should be the goal. So remember these words as I close this session. Behavior is communication. If you get it, write it down. Behavior is communication. Every behavior is a message. Every behavior is a message. And your job is to listen. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes. Before. Yes, you just got everything. Yes, thank you. Before, emotion, habit, age, value. That's uh, uh, how to investigate behavior before you correct it. If you pass through this system, you won't just react, you will respond. And if you are consistent with it, before you know it, your child will listen. Hmm? You will not even need to raise your voice. You will not even need to shout before your child will listen to you. So remember this words that behavior is communication. Remember this was that connection creates cooperation. Understanding comes before effective correction. If your child doesn't understand, if you like shout, 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 your child will not listen to you. A child who is struggling needs guidance, not punishment. A child who is not listening needs guidance and not punishment. Thank you all for joining me. What is it that you are leaving this class with? I know you must be leaving with something. Let's meet in the group. Let's meet in the group. Let me hear your takeaway. What are your takeaways? What did you learn? What are you going on with? And what is it that you will change? I want to hear from you. You can still bring people, you can still add people to the group, and of course, the replay will be available on the YouTube channel. So you can share the link to the video, you can share the link to this class to your friends, your parent, your children's teacher, your neighbors, whoever that is co-parenting with you. Let them command them. Thank you. Yes, ma. Behavior is communication. You are really following. Thank you for that. Behavior is communication. And this is where we call today's class a day. Tomorrow, we will explore why you, the parents, end up shouting. You are not shouting because you are a bad parent. I know you are not bad. You are not a bad. You are not a bad parent. As I've said, that you are not here because you're a bad parent. You are here because you love your children. You love them enough that you want to learn and be better. Thank you all for having me. Thank you for giving me your time. Thank you for giving me your attention. Thank you for staying till the end. Sorry, I don't want to pronounce something, but of course, I'm reading all the chat. I'm reading all the messages. Thank you, thank you. If you have not saved my number in the group, please save it. Send me done so that I can save your own number too. We need to relate one-on-one. All right. If you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, Please, okay, Yim C. All right, I've gotten that. So thank you very much for sharing that. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Click the notification bell so that when we are in class, even when you forget, you can get the notification. And this is where we call it a day until tomorrow. Keep parenting with intention. Bye.